Hi, I'm Stephen Webb, back with a legislative update. The North Carolina General Assembly passed another important bill aimed at assisting Western North Carolina in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. This all-encompassing legislation seeks to accelerate recovery efforts in areas heavily impacted by the storm. The bill was another step forward, but will certainly not be the last bill for the folks out in the western part of the state. This bill includes several key provisions designed to streamline permitting process and facilitate rapid rebuilding and repairs in the western part of the state. The bill contains a number of provisions that will directly aid to the recovery efforts in the western parts, while also providing long-term regulatory relief for the development community. A key focus of the Hurricane Helene recovery bill is the removal of red tape and regulatory barriers that could delay critical rebuilding efforts. Senate Bill 382 will extend the validity of several essential government approvals, including erosion and sedimentation control permits, wastewater permits, building permits, and a lot of local permits that are needed for building. All these efforts will assist in the rebuild in the western part of the state. Another key provision in Senate Bill 382 is a provision that authorizes a waiver of submission and approval of the sedimentation pollution control plan prior to the initiation of land disturbing activities. This change will allow land disturbance to run simultaneously with the permitting process, saving months of permit processing time. Previously, an applicant would have to wait for the approval of the land disturbance permit. This should help speed up recovery efforts. The bill also freezes the enforcement of tree ordinances in counties impacted by the storm until March 1st, 2025. Such ordinances often impose strict requirements on tree removal and replanting, which can delay essential repairs, increase costs, and hinder the ability to clear debris and ensure safety. By limiting these regulations, property owners can address storm damage more quickly, remove hazardous trees, and restore their properties without unnecessary bureaucratic obstacles. While the bill addresses many issues in the western part of the state, it also contains a few provisions of interest to all North Carolina builders. The bill would delay the implementation of the 2024 building code until July 1st, 2025. This delay allows builders, developers, and local governments additional time to prepare for the new standards, which aim to balance safety, efficiency, and cost. Delaying the implementation of the latest building codes for 6 months can indeed provide Western North Carolina the opportunity to rebuild without the additional complexity of transitioning to a new code book during an already challenging period. Furthermore, Senate Bill 382 would also modify the makeup of the newly formed Commercial Building Code Council. It strikes the attorney position and replaces that appointment with a licensed design professional with experience in design of structures or buildings subject to the North Carolina Building Code. And finally, the bill addresses a long-standing problem that property owners around the state have faced: local governments proactively downsizing property in an effort to force the property owner to the table in order to rezone their property. This practice often means that the property owner is forced into costly concessions when they're trying to make the best use of their property. This provision is a huge victory for property rights and a major victory for landowners who may have the intention of one day developing their property. I know there's a lot in this bill. That's why it's important to read this week's legislative report. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll see you in a few weeks.